Ukraine reclaims 46 settlements as Putin's troops are forced to give up territory throughout Kherson region amid Kyiv's counteroffensive. Ukraine has recaptured dozens of southern settlements from Russia as Kyiv's forces lay the groundwork for a major counterattack against Kherson city. Dmytro Butry, head of the Kherson region, said Kyiv's men have liberated 46 occupied settlements within the last 24 hours, mostly in the north. But at least some are located to the south, along the Black Sea coast, which is close to the city itself. Russia struck back by hitting Mykolaiv down the coast from Kherson with artillery overnight, destroying a medical center. Ukraine has previously boasted that the whole of Kherson city and region will be back under its control by September, in what would be a hammer blow for Putin. Butry said that the humanitarian situation in the region was critical and reiterated the authorities' call to those who still remain in the area to evacuate to safer regions. Ukraine's counterattack comes after its troops used newly donated Western HIMARS rocket artillery to blow up strategic targets behind the Russian front line. In the last several weeks, Kyiv's men have struck ammunition depots and command posts, hampering Russia's ability to unleash terrifying artillery barrages, which has helped them gain ground in the east. They has also taken out high-ranking officers, hampering Russia's ability to fight. Another major move came last week when the Antonovsky Bridge, the main road route connecting Kherson to the rest of Russia's occupied territory, was blown up using missile strikes. A nearby railway bridge and a second road, over the top of the Novokakhovka Dam, have also been damaged by rockets. It means Russia has no easy way to reinforce and resupply its troops in Kherson if Ukraine attacks, and no easy way to get troops out if they are defeated. Kyiv's men are now tightening the noose on the city, in the hopes of moving in and retaking it within the coming weeks. The battle could prove decisive. If Ukraine wins, it will prove that the goal of pushing Russia off all its occupied territories is possible, at least in theory. Victory will likely lead to increased military aid and money from the West, and will provide Ukraine with an important morale boost after months on the defensive. Lose, and it become much harder for Western leaders to justify continued support for Ukraine to their own people, particularly as winter approaches and Russia's decision to turn off gas supplies bites. Losing the support of the West would hamstring Ukraine and could force Kyiv to accept an unfavorable peace deal that would freeze the conflict in place, giving Putin the chance to restart it again any time he sees fit. Capturing Kherson was a major propaganda win for the Kremlin, and is the only regional capital that Putin's men have taken in 5 months of fighting. It was seized early in the war, on March 3rd, as Russian troops spilled out of Crimea and across Ukraine's south. Their advance met with greater success than attacks elsewhere because Ukraine is thought to have pulled troops from here to reinforce the capital before the war began, fearing that its capture would spell an early defeat. Now, after Russia has retreated from Kyiv and with its Donbass assault blunted, Ukraine has returned to reclaim the region. Aside from holding symbolic importance for both sides, the city is also strategically valuable for Ukraine and Russia. It straddles the Dnipro River, Ukraine's main waterway that divides the country in two, and is Russia's sole toehold on the western side after the Kyiv retreat. Kherson also sits just inland from the Black Sea with easy access to lucrative trading routes, and is home to military bases and an airfield. Retaking it would further shield Ukraine's main port city of Odessa from attack, but would also serve as a launching pad for further Ukrainian attacks to the east. Crimea, which Russia seized and annexed the last time it invaded Ukraine in 2014, could be ranged by missiles from Kherson. Taking the city would also open up routes to Melitopol, Berdyansk and Mariupol, 3 other large cities captured by Russia. Russia-occupied coastal city rocked as Zelensky's heroes wipe out Putin ammo depot. A huge explosion rocked the Russian-occupied city of Skadovsk overnight, in a blow to Vladimir Putin's offensive in Ukraine. The explosion is believed to have destroyed Russian ammunition depots in the Ukrainian port city of Skadovsk, Kherson Oblast, on the Black Sea. It came just hours after Russian missiles pounded Ukraine's port city Mykolaiv, also on the Black Sea. It is the latest instance of Volodymyr Zelensky's troops targeting ammunition stores to slow Russian plans. Ukraine said it destroyed a key Russian command post in Kherson district along with a weapons arsenal, killing 12 Russian soldiers on July 10. On July 25, Ukraine forces also used U.S.-supplied HIMARS rocket systems to destroy 50 Russian ammunition depots since receiving the weapons in June. In comments on national television, Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov underlined the growing impact that the high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, are having as Ukraine tries to repel Russia's invasion. This cuts their Russian logistical chains and takes away their ability to conduct active fighting and cover our armed forces with heavy shelling, Reznikov said. Reznikov said Ukrainian artillery crews had conducted precise strikes on several bridges. He gave no details but was apparently referring to 3 river crossings in Russian-occupied Kherson region which local occupation authorities say were attacked by HIMARS over the past week. Reznikov also said Ukraine had received 3 Leopard anti-aircraft armored fighting vehicles, the first of 15 expected, and that Kyiv was expecting to take delivery of several dozen Leopard tanks. On Sunday, President Vladimir Putin signed a new naval doctrine casting the United States as Russia's main rival and setting global maritime ambitions in the Black Sea and Arctic. Putin did not mention the conflict in Ukraine during a speech marking Russia's Navy Day, but said the Navy would receive hypersonic Zircon cruise missiles in coming months. The missiles can travel at 9 times the speed of sound, outrunning air defenses. Navy Day celebrations in the port of Sevastopol were disrupted when 5 Russian Navy staff members were injured by an explosion after a suspected drone flew into the courtyard of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, the Crimean port city's governor, Mikhail Razvozayev, told Russian media. Mykolaiv Mayor Alexander Senkovic said more than 12 missile strikes on Sunday, probably the most powerful on the city in 5 months of war, hit homes and schools, with 2 people confirmed killed and 3 wounded. Missile strikes continued into Sunday evening. As fierce fighting between Ukrainian and Russian troops continues in the eastern region of Donetsk, with Moscow failing to make significant advances for weeks, former governor of Luhansk Oblast George Tuka said it's time Kyiv launches preventive airstrikes directly onto Russian territory. In an interview with Ukrainian news site Obozrevitl, Tuka said Kyiv will not fight to the last Ukrainian, but to the last Russian, saying Ukraine should not limit itself to hit enemy targets within its territory but strike on Russian territory too. I would very much like our American partners to stop tying us hand and foot with the demand not to shell the territory of Russia, he told Obozrevitl. In my opinion, the task of preventive strikes on military facilities located on the territory of both Russia and Belarus is a matter of the security of our country, and not just some political scaremongering. For a long time, both Russia and Belarus deserve to receive certain actions in return. Asked about the diplomatic risks of shelling Russian targets using weapons provided by NATO countries, Tuka said the difference between weapons provided by Western powers and Ukrainian weapons is just a political gimmick. From the moment when any and whose weapons cross the state border of Ukraine, they become Ukrainian. From whom we bought it, how we got it, it does not matter at all. This is political manipulation and nothing more, he said. Tuka said that he saw no reason why Ukraine should not strike Moscow. I see no reason why we should stop, that we should be stopped from doing so, Tuka told Obozrevitl.